Let's begin this practice laying down on the ground. You can have your legs extended out long or bending through the knees, soles of the feet flat on the mat. Just taking a moment to ground down, maybe thinking in on each in-breath and out on each out-breath. Taking a moment to arrive at this present moment. This flow is going to be more hip opening. We're going to stay pretty low to the ground. 2 more breaths before we get moving here. Then bringing the hands up to the body, thumbs are going to be on the low ribs, fingers on the hips, and we're just going to rock the hips back and forth in between this anterior and posterior tilt. So anterior tilt, the hip points move away from the ribs, and then posterior tilt, that closing of the hip bones up towards the ribs. Placing the fingers here can just help you have a little bit more awareness of this area. Still just working with your breath. The hips aren't coming off the floor at all. Just a gentle rock back and forth. And you can release the fingers, bringing the legs up towards the sky. Thinking of this next movement just coming from the hips as we externally rotate, toes move out from one another, heels pointed in, and then internally rotating through the hips, toes point towards one another, heels are away. So really the feet and the knees aren't moving, it's just that movement coming from the hips, but the knees and feet are kind of moving away from each other and then in towards one another. And you can be more dramatic with this if you'd like to splay the legs out wide, coming into a V as you externally rotate, and then internally rotate as you bring the legs back together. No right or wrong way to do this here, just trying to get some nice fluid movements through the hips. And the next time that you come back through center, bend through the left knee, placing the left sole of the foot flat on the mat, and then bending through the right knee, placing the right ankle on top of the left knee for our reclined figure 4. You can start to pull the knees in towards the chest and then lowering the left foot back down onto the mat. And again, knees to chest and left foot back down onto the mat. Keeping this nice and slow and dynamic, moving with your breath. Just warming up through the hip joints here. If you'd like to find some stillness, go ahead and pull the knees closer towards the chest, grabbing behind the left thigh. And you can even extend the left leg up towards the sky for a little bit more of a hamstring stretch. Maybe even rolling out through the left ankle here. Good. Left foot comes back down to the mat. Keeping the legs just as they are. Let that right foot fall over to the left, coming into a twist. Coming back through center, and then right knee falls over towards the right. And back through center. Keeping the legs just as they are. Rocking right to left, getting a little bit more twisting sensation through the spine. And feel free to pause in any of these side twists that's feeling good for you. Or just keep the movement going. Quick tune in that you can still find the breath. Next time that you come back through center, unhook the right ankle. Left leg's going to reach up towards the ceiling now, hooking left ankle on top of right knee. Same thing, second side. Start to pull the knees in towards the chest and releasing the right foot back down onto the mat. Knees to chest, and right foot comes back down onto the mat. You can pause with that right foot down too if that's feeling enough for you. And then whenever you want to pause in stillness, you can grab behind the right thigh, extending the right leg long, maybe rolling out through the ankle or just keeping the right knee bent. pulling the knees in closer towards the chest. And then releasing the right sole of the foot back down to the mat. We're going to come into those twists again. So letting the left sole of the foot fall over towards the right, twisting back through center, and then left knee goes over towards the left. Keeping the legs in the same position. You don't need to meet the earth. If you're feeling any pinching in the low back, just come out of the twist a little bit, finding a little less depth. And again, you can pause on any twisted side that you would like. Keeping your breath. Left foot releases, coming back down to the mat. Walk the feet nice and wide so the toes are going to point out about 45 degrees, kind of scraping the edge of the mat. Heels are in. We're going to press up into a bridge position, letting the hips shift over towards the right. Hips release back down to the mat, and then shifting over towards the left. So we're working in some kind of bridge circles here. No right or wrong way to do this, just trying to get a nice fluidity through that hip socket. Good. And if you're working in a circle, go ahead and reverse that circle. If there's any area you want to pause in, permission to pause there. Any sticky spots that you want to breathe into. The next time that the hips come back down to the mat, let the hips rest and bring the knees in towards the chest. Grabbing around the shins or onto the knees. Gentle sway just side to side, massaging out that low back. The shoulders are relaxed, the head is relaxed down onto the mat. You can flex and extend into each ankle or pausing in stillness. Then go ahead and grab behind the thighs, rocking up and down the spine a few times to come up, rolling over the ankles, and then coming to an all fours position. Shoulders are over the wrist, hips are over the knees. Drop the belly, widening in between the sits bones. The heart shines through the gate of the arms. And then rounding as the back of the heart pushes up towards the sky. Tailbone tucks under. A few more rounds of cat-cow. Working with your breath. If you'd like to find a little bit more movement, you can turn this into a rolling cat-cow. Maybe as you come into your cat pose and sinking the hips back down towards the heels. Inhale, arching into your cow pose, keeping the back of the neck long. Just moving really in any way that's feeling nice on the spine and the hips. Next time that you come back through center, extend the right leg out to the side so the right foot is in line with the left knee. Sink the hips back and then coming forward. You can keep the right sole of the foot firmly on the ground, or you can turn, opening up through the hips so that the toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Next time that the hips come back towards the heel, stay there. Walk the hands in towards the knee, and then bending through the right knee, placing the right ankle under the right knee, coming into our kind of half yogi squat. You can also place a block under the hips to sit on that if you need a little bit more support here. Gentle rock of the hips, then placing the right arm down on the inside of the right leg. Left arm comes behind the head. And exhale as you bring left elbow down towards the right. Inhale, opening up through the thoracic spine. And exhale to close. Again, working with your breath. And pausing in any of these positions that's feeling comfortable for you. And the next time that the left elbow meets the right, go ahead and release the hand from behind the head, walking the hands out in front, coming back to our all fours position. Left foot extends out to the side in line with that right knee, rocking back and forth. Hips rocking back towards the heels, and then shoulders rocking back over the wrist. Next time that the hips come back to meet the heel, walk the hands in towards that right knee as you bring the left knee in for your yogi squat on the second side. Left arm comes to the inside of the left leg, right hand comes behind the head, and again opening and closing through that thoracic spine as you bring the right elbow up towards the sky and then back down to meet the left. And the next time that the right arm comes down to meet the left, walk the hands out in front, come down to sit on your seat, extending your legs out to about 45 degrees on each side, coming into a wide-legged seat. You can have the toes pointed or flexed up towards the sky, and just begin to walk the hands out in front of you, folding over. You can round into the spine here now, keeping the back of the neck long as you just let it hang heavy. Maybe with each out breath, you're able to soften a little bit closer down into the earth. Trying to release any tensions through the hips here, release any gripping through the glutes, completely surrendering to the pose. Begin to walk your hands back in towards your seat, bringing the feet to meet one another and slowly releasing yourself down onto the mat. Bring the knees to either side of the rib cage, flexing through the feet. You're going to reach your arms in between your legs here and then grabbing on the outside of the calves. If you can reach up to the feet, you can also grab the outer or inner edges of the feet for happy baby. Just keeping the spine long here. Pausing in stillness, or you can find a gentle sway. Again, shoulders relaxed on the mat, back of the head relaxed down onto the mat. With each out breath, see if you can bring the knees a little bit closer towards the earth. Find a little bit more softness, a little bit more heaviness. And releasing the feet, bringing the soles of the feet to touch, knees go out wide for our reclined butterfly pose. You can relax one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest, release them down by the sides. Just let everything sink down into the mat. You can continue in your reclined butterfly pose if you'd like to stay there for your Shavasana, or release the legs out long, arms down by your side. Find a little tune in to the breath. Final opportunity to sink a little bit deeper into the mat. Find a little bit more ease, a little bit more heaviness. Whenever you're ready, start to wiggle the fingers and the toes, turning over onto one side before pushing yourself up to your seated position. And we'll take one final breath together. As we inhale, circle the arms down, around, and up. Exhale, palms come to touch, down through heart center. Thank you all so much for moving with me this morning. Namaste.